How did a tribe of runaways transform into a resilient and thriving community that defied colonization, endured forced relocation, and now stands as an economic and cultural powerhouse? Journey into the history of the Seminole people and discover a legacy of unyielding strength, innovation, and perseverance. The Seminole are a Native American tribe with roots in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and South Carolina. Their identity is a rich tapestry woven from several indigenous groups, including the Creek, Miccosukee, and Hichiti peoples. The word Seminole itself means runaway or separatist, a reflection of their origin as a group that broke away from their parent tribes in the 18th century to form a distinct culture. Over time, their name came to embody their resilience, independence, and resistance to external forces that sought to dominate them. The Seminoles' emergence as a unique tribe coincided with significant upheaval in the southeastern United States. The displacement of indigenous groups due to European colonization created a melting pot of cultures. The Seminole absorbed influences from neighboring tribes, as well as escaped African slaves who found refuge within their communities. This blending of traditions, languages, and practices gave rise to a society that was both diverse and cohesive, living in the challenging environments of the Southeast. From the rolling plains of Georgia to the swamps of Florida, the Seminole demonstrated remarkable adaptability. They cultivated crops like corn, beans, and squash, hunted deer and small game, and fished in the abundant waterways. Their survival depended on their deep understanding of the land and their ability to work together as a community. They built raised homes, called chickees, suited to the swampy terrain, which remain a cultural symbol to this day. Distinctive cultural markers set the Seminole apart. Their clothing featured intricate patchwork designs, an art form developed during their time in Florida. These patterns often told stories or symbolized important events, showcasing their creativity and identity. Oral traditions preserved the stories of their ancestors, while religious practices centered around ceremonies like the green corn dance, reinforced communal bonds, and emphasized renewal. These traditions, combined with their ability to forge alliances and adapt to changing circumstances, laid the foundation for the Seminoles' enduring legacy. The Seminole were also known for their hospitality and trade networks, connecting with neighboring tribes and settlers. This economic ingenuity helped them acquire goods like tools and weapons, essential for adapting to colonial pressure. Their openness to trade and diplomacy positioned them as a vital link between indigenous communities and European settlers in the region. The 18th and 19th centuries were transformative and turbulent for the Seminole. Colonization by European powers brought new threats to their autonomy and survival. Initially, the Spanish and British competed for control of Florida, using indigenous groups as pawns in their struggles. The Seminole, however, managed to navigate these conflicts by leveraging their knowledge of the land and their strategic alliances. The arrival of American settlers in the early 19th century escalated tensions. Florida's fertile land and strategic location made it a coveted prize for U.S. expansionists. Under the Indian Removal Act of 1830, the United States government sought to relocate all Native American tribes west of the Mississippi River. For the Seminole, this policy represented an existential threat, as it aimed to erase their presence in Florida and disrupt their way of life. The First Seminole War, 1817-1818, was sparked by U.S. military incursions into Florida, which targeted Seminole villages accused of harboring runaway slaves. Though the conflict ended inconclusively, it set the stage for further hostility. The Second Seminole War, 1835, 1842, was far more significant. This prolonged and bloody conflict saw the Seminole engage in guerrilla warfare against U.S. forces, using the dense Everglades as a natural fort. Leaders like Ocelot emerged as symbols of defiance, rallying their people to resist relocation. The Seminoles' guerrilla tactics during the Second Seminole War frustrated U.S. forces who struggled to navigate the swamps and counter the hit-and-run strategies. The Seminoles' intimate knowledge of the Everglades allowed them to evade capture and launch surprise attacks. Despite early successes, the war's toll on the Seminole was devastating. Many were killed or captured, and thousands were forcibly relocated to Indian Territory in present-day Oklahoma. Yet, a resilient group retreated deeper into the Everglades, choosing isolation over surrender. Their survival in this harsh environment underscored their determination to preserve their identity and autonomy. The Third Seminole War, 1855-1858, though less extensive, continued the struggle for control of Florida. By the end of this conflict, most of the Seminole had been removed, but a small population remained, laying the groundwork for the modern Seminole tribe of Florida. These wars collectively marked one of the most significant resistances to U.S. expansion, a testament to the Seminoles' unwavering spirit. For the Seminole, who were relocated to Indian Territory, the journey marked the beginning of a new chapter filled with hardships and uncertainty. The land they were assigned was vastly different from the lush ecosystems of Florida. Dry, arid, and unfamiliar, it posed significant challenges to their traditional way of life. The Seminole had to adapt quickly, learning to farm new crops and navigate relationships with other tribes who had also been forcibly relocated. Life in Indian Territory was marked by both struggle and resilience. The Seminole faced constant threats to their cultural identity as government policies aimed to assimilate Native Americans into Euro-American society. Missionaries established schools to teach English and Christianity, often at the expense of indigenous languages and traditions. Yet, the Seminole resisted these efforts, finding ways to maintain their customs and beliefs. The economic challenges of resettlement were immense. The loss of fertile lands and access to trade networks in Florida left the Seminole economically disadvantaged. Many turned to subsistence farming, while others found work as laborers or craftspeople. Over time, they began to rebuild their communities, establishing governance structures that reflected both their traditional values and the realities of their new environment. The Seminole in Oklahoma established a unique government under the Treaty of 1866, which granted them autonomy within the Indian Territory. They built schools and community centers, preserving their language and cultural practices. Despite the pressures of assimilation, the Seminole assured that ceremonies like the green corn dance continued to play a central role in their society, fostering a sense of unity and renewal. The Seminoles' resilience during this period laid the foundation for their future successes. They not only survived the challenges of resettlement, but also forged a path forward, proving that their cultural identity and traditions could endure even in the face of adversity. Today, the Seminole people are represented by two federally recognized tribes, the Seminole Tribe of Florida and the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. These tribes have not only survived, but thrived, leveraging their heritage and resourcefulness to build prosperous communities. The Seminole Tribe of Florida, in particular, has become an economic powerhouse, owning and operating the globally recognized Hard Rock Hotel and casino chain. This venture, alongside other enterprises in agriculture and tourism, has provided financial stability and resources for tribal members. In Florida, Efforts to document and revitalize the Seminole language have gained momentum, with younger generations learning to speak and write in their ancestral tongue. Traditional crafts, such as patchwork clothing and basket weaving, continue to be practiced and celebrated. Annual events like the Seminole Wow attract visitors from around the world, showcasing the tribe's vibrant traditions. Environmental stewardship is another area where the Seminole have made significant contributions. In Florida, the tribe has taken an active role in protecting the Everglades, a landscape that has been central to their identity for centuries. Through sustainable farming practices and ecological restoration projects, the Seminole demonstrate their commitment to preserving the natural world for future generations. In Oklahoma, the Seminole Nation has focused on education and community development. Scholarships, mentorship programs, and cultural education initiatives have been established to empower tribal members and ensure that their history is not forgotten. These efforts highlight the Seminoles' ability to adapt to modern challenges while staying true to their roots. The Seminoles' economic and cultural success serves as a powerful example of how indigenous communities can thrive in the modern world while honoring their heritage. Their achievements have not only strengthened their own communities, but also inspired other Native American tribes to pursue similar paths of empowerment. The legacy of the Seminole is one of resilience, adaptability, and defiance. From their origins as a coalition of indigenous peoples to their resistance against colonization and forced relocation, the Seminole have shown an unwavering commitment to their identity and independence. Their contributions to American history extend beyond their military resistance. The Seminoles' ability to integrate diverse cultural influences, from African American runaways to neighboring tribes, created a unique and dynamic society. The Seminoles' legacy also includes their fight for sovereignty and self-determination. Legal battles, such as those over land claims and tribal recognition, have shaped their modern identity. Their economic success, cultural preservation efforts, and environmental advocacy exemplify how a community can honor its past while building a future. Today, the Seminole serve as both a symbol of resistance and a beacon of progress, inspiring other Native American tribes and communities worldwide. As they navigate modern challenges such as political representation and land rights, the Seminole continue to draw strength from their history, ensuring that their legacy endures for generations to come. Their story is a testament to the enduring power of cultural identity, innovation, and resilience in shaping a brighter future.